We are going straight, aren't we? All right, take a look at this. Colorado going to pot with promises of less crime and assurances it was not. Pot was not addictive. So now, over 1 year after they passed it, the Colorado Springs Gazette newspaper has released an in-depth perspective series that examines those issues and more. And Wayne Logazin is the editorial page editor for the Colorado Springs Gazette. He joins us today from the beautiful city of Denver. Good morning to you, Wayne.
Good morning.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you because it's a great story. A year ago, the people of Colorado were assured this is going to be a great idea. And now we fast forward, not so great, right?
Well, I'm sure the people who enjoy growing and smoking marijuana legally are happy about it. A lot of people who voted for this, for Amendment 64, are not marijuana users. Mm-hmm. They had no particular interest in the legalization aspect, but they were told that it was going to fund education. It was going to clear a lot of people out of prisons
Sure.
and jails. It was just going to do a lot of good things for society. So we went to look to see whether any of that stuff was really happening, and we found that it really is not.
Okay, then let's start. You did a 4-part series. Let's talk a little bit about regulation. With the benefit of hindsight, this did not meet the expectations, did it?
No, it did not. I mean, first of all, you got to consider that revenues are about 50% of what was anticipated, so that's a big disappointment for school funding and anti-drug funding. Also, all of that money is probably going to have to go back to the general public because of the Colorado Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which is in the Colorado Constitution. Unless voters are given an opportunity to change that, all of the money goes back. So this thing isn't even paying for its own regulation at this point.
No kidding. All right. You also examined marijuana and crime, and what you were told a year ago was, there are a lot of people in prison, and if it's just pot charges, they get to go free. But as it turns out, there weren't that many people in prison for pot to begin with.
No, almost none. That's a great storyline, and who wouldn't want to go along with it? Look, if there are nonviolent offenders and all they really did was smoke some marijuana or grow some marijuana or transport some marijuana, why would we want to pay for their incarceration? They're really not hurting anyone. But the fact of the matter is we can find almost no evidence that there was anyone in prison or jail simply for using marijuana in Colorado.
Sure.
It's never been a high priority enforcement here, and we don't find that there's anyone in prison or jail anywhere else for this, really. It's usually in the mix somewhere, but it is not the reason that they're in jail or in prison.
Regarding youthful addiction, as it turns out now, with it legal, medical, and recreational out there, a lot of parents are having trouble keeping their kids off it.
Well, yeah, you couldn't talk to any parent in Colorado who could honestly tell you with a straight face that this has not become a struggle to keep it away from teenagers. We have the fastest growing teen marijuana use rate in the country. We have the second highest rate overall. And it's just everywhere. What we're finding is that a lot of teenagers, at 18, you can buy medical marijuana legally, right. Save 22% on the taxes, and then mark it up a little bit and resell it in the school parking lot, in the hallways, whatever.
Oh, man. And that goes to the final point where you examine medical marijuana. As it turns out, medical weed is a lot cheaper than the other stuff, and so everybody's trying to get that card to say they got a problem.
That's right. You go into a doctor, not your typical family physician, but a medical marijuana physician. This is what they do. They write prescriptions. There are over 500 medical marijuana dispensaries in Colorado, and you go and you pay $50 or a little bit more, whatever the going rate is. He'll write a note. You can then buy marijuana essentially tax-free for the next year, and then you just do it again. It's really undermining the whole recreational sales schematic that was supposed to raise all kinds of money for good causes.
Surely.
So it's a bit of a black market right there.
No kidding. I know a lot of people looking in right now, Wayne, would like to hear about this, and it's going to be on the Washington Examiner website and your website at the newspaper out in Colorado as well, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's gazette.com/clearing the haze. You can order up the whole 4-part series in one packet. Washington Examiner came out with its own version of this today.
Excellent. All right. Wayne Logazin joined us today from Denver. Wayne, thank you very much. Good work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thank you, sir.